The sun was just beginning to rise over the airport. It was quiet, peaceful, and cold inside the terminal. Near Gate 37, Ibrahim Traoré waited calmly. He wasn't wearing a suit, didn't have bodyguards, and wasn't carrying anything flashy. To most people, he looked like just another African traveler. But this man was far from ordinary. He was Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso. He preferred to travel this way, humble, private, and quiet. No cameras, no loud announcements. That was how he moved. He believed in blending in, staying grounded, and being with the people. His return from a diplomatic meeting in Europe was no different. He had finished important talks on issues like gold sovereignty and Africa's future. But now, all he wanted was to get home. As he walked toward the Air France flight bound for Ouagadougou, he greeted an airport worker in French with a warm smile. "Bonjour, ça va?" The worker smiled back, unaware of who he truly was. And that was how Traoré liked it. He boarded the plane quietly, nodded politely at the flight crew, and took his seat in business class, row 2A, near the window. No one noticed. No one cared, or so he thought. A few rows behind him, whispers began. A senior French businessman, the CEO of a major energy company, was also heading to Burkina Faso. He was used to VIP treatment, red carpets, champagne, and first-class everything. But when he arrived at the gate, the airline told him that business class was already full. The CEO was not pleased. He didn't take no for an answer. That's when the drama started to build, quietly at first. The CEO made a small demand that would soon escalate into a storm. He wasn't used to hearing the word no. He stood at the boarding gate, surrounded by assistants and airline staff, tapping his polished shoes impatiently. "I'm a strategic partner in many African projects," he arrogantly declared. To him, that meant rules didn't apply. He demanded an upgrade immediately. The gate agents scrambled. They whispered among themselves, checked their tablets. But the truth was simple. Business class was full. All seats were taken. Still, the CEO insisted. That's when the airline called over a senior flight attendant. Her name was Claire. She was tall, white, and dressed in an Air France uniform. She wore a cold, forced smile as she walked onto the plane to address the situation. Inside, Claire scanned the cabin with sharp eyes, as though searching for something, or someone. Her eyes paused when they landed on a dark-skinned man in seat 2A. Ibrahim Traoré sat quietly, reading something on his phone, calm as always. She looked again. No expensive watch, no assistant, no signs of power, just a black man in a hoodie. She leaned toward another attendant and whispered, "Probably a mistake." Then she walked over to him, forced a smile and said, "Monsieur, may I see your boarding pass?" Traoré looked up, nodded, and handed it to her. She stared at the pass, then back at him. The seat number was correct, but something inside her didn't sit right. In her eyes, he didn't look like someone who belonged there. Moments later, she returned, her smile still plastered on her face, but her tone was firmer this time. "Sir, I'm sorry, but we may need to move you to accommodate another passenger. Would you mind relocating to economy? We'll compensate you." It was a quiet insult, but sharp nonetheless. Ibrahim Traoré raised an eyebrow. "And why me?" he asked, calmly. "No reason, sir," she replied, trying to keep her cool. "Just a small adjustment for our guest." "A guest more important than me?" he asked, his voice still calm. She didn't answer. She only smiled. Other passengers glanced over, sensing something wasn't right, but no one spoke. Ibrahim sat back, quietly. "No," he said. "I will remain in my seat."